Well, for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe it's 5 by now, we've been talking to David Mines, and as you can see, I haven't changed my clothes. We're doing this all, and David hasn't either. We're doing this all in one swoop because we want to give to you the best info so you can have a great next part of your life without having to be a slave. And I'm sorry if I'm letting my opinions, but it's sad. I saw my daddy take a handful of meds, my mama take a handful of meds, and I thought, I don't want to do that. And here's the man to help us. Yay! Southern Mamas Be Like is the name of this show. And we started thinking, even Marie and I were started thinking about how important it is for us to have good health habits. So if you've listened for the past few weeks, you have heard the brilliance. David, you're very good at this. Very, very brilliant, very single. I just had to throw that in. You know, I've always got your back, pal. But hello again for this last part. And I want to ask you, let's start with cholesterol, because I'm on a statin drug and I'd love to get off of it, but you've discovered a really good statin drug.
So first of all, cholesterol is not the issue. Let's get that settled once and for all. In 1980, yes, but we're not in 1980 anymore. We've learned so much more about the big killer, heart attack and stroke, surprise heart attack and stroke. That's your biggest health threat, as we've said in the weeks prior to this. But cholesterol in your food for about 98% of the population does not make your blood cholesterol go up. I'll say it again. Cholesterol in your food, like an egg yolk, a lot of cholesterol, you eat that, that does not make your blood cholesterol go up in the vast majority of patients. It just doesn't have a relationship. What does fundamentally affect your risk of a heart attack or stroke is high blood sugar and high blood insulin. That causes inflammation. You know, when you cut yourself, your cut gets inflamed and the body heals. Well, you've got inflammation in your body too. And if it's low grade in your vascular system, you won't have any symptoms except it's increasing your risk for having that surprise heart attack or stroke. How do you fix that? You've got to control that blood sugar and that insulin. We talked about that all in an earlier issue. So cholesterol is not what we're trying to lower when we take a cholesterol medicine. They're called statins, S-T-A-T-I-N-S, statins. And the one I take, I especially like. I've been on it for at least 10 years. By the way, most people don't make it even 5 years. By 90% of the people are off their cholesterol medicine within 5 years. A huge number are off within 1 year, often because of side effects. One of the side effects is aching muscles. Well, I've got one that I take. Your physician can prescribe it for you if you're not happy, or if you've been on a statin and you stopped it because of side effects. I take one called Livalo. That's L-I-V-A-L-O. L-I-V-A-L-O. That's the brand name. Technically, it's called pitavastatin. P-I-T-A, pitavastatin. Pitavastatin. And I don't have side effects with it. And I only take 1 milligram a day. That's not much, but it doesn't take much. This is a pretty powerful medicine. You know, some of those other cholesterol medicines, you're taking 40 milligrams, maybe more. And your doctor puts you on this to lower your bad cholesterol. That's called the LDL, the LDL. That lowers your bad cholesterol. Well, it does in some people, but frankly, that's not why you're taking it either. The research is now clear. The reason you take a statin, and I take one, and I think a lot of people should, is it's an anti-inflammatory. That's what it does. And remember, inflammation of your vascular system is the foundation that starts the whole disease process that brings on a surprise heart attack or stroke. So anything we can do to decrease that inflammation, and taking a cholesterol medicine really shouldn't be called cholesterol medicine. It should be called inflammation medicine. Guys, but a statin can bring it down.
That is so interesting. I've never heard it quite explained like that. But David, I know when I go to my primary care physician, she always makes mention of on top of the getting your LDL down and your HDL good is the exercise that women should do. And I have always heard is for women my age, and I'm so young. Okay, I know I look very young. You know, old beauty queens, we just don't die or age. We just fade off like that. So just remember that. At least that what we tell ourselves that.
Okay.
So what about resistance exercising or weights or whatever? What do you recommend for women?
Sure. It's what people have heard for a long time. You need cardiovascular. That's something that gets the heart rate going, ideally 3 times a week, about 150 minutes total per week, not per day, 150 minutes total per week where you're getting your heart rate going. I know you're all busy, but have you got 150 minutes a week? Maybe you can fit that in. That's, 30 minutes, 5 days a week, take the weekends off, or whatever you want to do. But 150 minutes a week is what it takes, kind of as a base where you get your heart rate going. You don't have to be a marathon runner. By the way, marathon runners decrease their immune function. They're more likely after a 5K or whatever they go on to get sick because it dramatically decreases their immune function. Now it comes back, and many of them are very healthy, but right after, they're more likely to catch pneumonia or a cold or something, the flu, because of the intensity of that marathon that they go through. But most Americans are not in danger of decreasing their immunity from too much exercise. They're in danger for not exercising enough. So I will tell you one thing that I find works very important. People don't exercise for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's not any fun. Number 2, it's inconvenient. So what I do is I bought a piece of exercise equipment in my house. Now it's always convenient. And number 2, I sit in front of the television and I watch movies. And suddenly it's not exercise, it's a chance for me to catch up on some movie or television show I want to watch. You take those 2 issues away, you might find you're a little bit more successful with exercise. So that's all aerobic. That's getting the heart rate going. The other thing Jane mentioned is resistive exercise, and so very important, especially for blood sugar control, for insulin control, because that's what uses up your blood sugar and insulin is your muscles. And the more muscle you have on you, especially the lower leg, the legs, the upper part above your knee, that's where your big muscles are. Any exercise, resistive exercise that you can do that's good on that part of your body helps keep those muscles strong and actually can build them. Ladies, you don't have to worry about bulking up. Most women don't have the hormone profile to actually bulk up, and most women don't want that look anyway. So you do resistive exercise. Again, maybe a couple times a week for that. And that means something with weights. And it basically maybe makes 3 sets of about maybe 10 repetitions. So you work on the biceps, maybe work on the triceps back here. I go to a gym also, and the gym has machines that I couldn't begin to afford or have room for in my house. And I can get a pretty good overview of all of my muscles in about 45 minutes or so. And I just go from one to the other. And I see a lot of people, by the way, do an exercise and then they watch their cell phone for 10 minutes and then they go back again. I'm not interested. I'm there to get in and get out. I got other things to do. You don't have to invest a lot of time to be healthy and fit.
David, this has just been fantastic. Now, once again, tell us how to get in touch with you. And if anyone wants to have a conversation or look into your programs, you've got your book. But share one more time how people can reach out to you for more information.
So again, the new book is called 10 Bonus Years, How You Can Add 10 Healthy Years to Your Life. Really a good book, not hard to understand. 10 steps to gain 10 bonus years of life. I think all of us would like that, but they got to be healthy years. Nobody just wants 10 more years in a nursing home. You want quality to go with quantity. You can get that at booksbydavid.net, booksbydavid.net. The other thing I'm more excited about is that we've just launched my new 6-month online video course. It's me talking to you. I've got 14 hours of material. This is the best I've ever done in my career. And I even learned things putting it together. It took me a long time to put this program together. It is 12 modules, 14 hours. The modules are broken up into little lessons. It's very easy to digest. They're only a couple of minutes long each lesson. And that is something you can learn about if you'll go to 10bonusyears.com, 10bonusyears.com. You'll watch the free video. There's a free webinar there. It's aimed at men. It says men, but ladies can get the same benefit out of it as well. You watch the 45-minute webinar, complimentary, no charge. And at the end, if this resonates with you, if it sounds like something you think might benefit, you can make a free call with me. You'll set it up on my calendar, and we'll talk for a few minutes and find out what your needs are, what you need help with, and if the program might be a fit. If not, that's fine. You learned a lot just by watching the webinar. If so, we can investigate that more. Again, it's a 6-month program. We do blood work, advanced blood work you probably have not had by your doctor before. Jane, we do the CIMT that we talked about earlier. That's part of this program as well. And it's all done by telemedicine. We have physicians on staff in this program. So it's not just me, it's a lot of other experts involved. It's probably one of the most comprehensive longevity programs out there right now. It's not for everybody. There's a significant investment, and insurance does not pay for this because, as we've said before in this series, it's prevention. If you have a heart attack or stroke, your insurance will be glad to pay.
Yeah.
They won't pay for prevention.
Well, and this whole thing started, Dave, because I've always known that you were into nutrition and extremely educated in the most current things. And you just got back from a conference, didn't you? Was it in earlier this month, or maybe it was the end of last year? I can't remember. But tell us a little bit about that. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was a longevity conference, and this was about 5,000 physicians and people like me that just took over Las Vegas, one hotel. And it was amazing to see what's on the horizon. I'll tell you that the last chapter in my book says the future of longevity, and you all would be amazed what's on the horizon for longevity. We're not talking just about making people live longer. We're talking about making an 80-year-old look like a 50-year-old in terms of health and physiology, and actually backing up the clock. Now, they may live longer too, but the most important thing is we're not going to expand just lifespan. We're talking about expanding health span. I think that's what all of us want. And that's just on the horizon with some of the things. It might be a pharmaceutical intervention. There's all kinds of things that are available just coming up. The point I make at the end of my book is you don't want to die the day before the pill comes out.
Yeah.
And the pill is coming out probably in the next 5 years. That's
Wow.
how close we are now to making a dramatic improvement in quality and quantity of life. It's an exciting time when you combine the biochemistry now with artificial intelligence. They're able to do things that would have taken us 30 years in the past to now accomplish maybe in the next 5 years. So take care of yourself, everybody. Maximize your health now. Do everything you can so that you're still here when the pill comes out.
Oh, that's very good. And a whole different definition for the word the pill. Remember the pill growing up, we always knew what that was. But this is very interesting and very cutting edge. David, I cannot thank you enough. We have been talking for 1 hour. How about that? And it's been gold. And I can't thank you enough for doing this for me as a personal favor. And the other thing I want to mention to folks is you are available to speak at conferences and churches. And this is kind of how we got you here, because my speaker buddies got together and we benefited from the CMIT test that Thomas and I took. And I had the cardio scan. As I used to say, the next step is the cardio scan. I went to an imaging center here and had that done, and it was all good. I was very thankful. But we all decided we needed to get a little bit of David and use him all across our state to help folks understand how to be healthy and live better, and just not live longer, but healthy lives. So we've loved having you in South Carolina, and other folks listening, you can do the same thing. Contact David to see what it would take to get him in your area. And
that website for speaking, if I can say, is just my name, davidminds.com. That's where if you happen to have a meeting that you plan, or you know a meeting planner, or sometime you have a group of people together. That's what I do for a living. Besides the online course, I speak, and be glad to come and talk to your group about how to add 10 bonus years to your life. So just go to davidminds.com and you can see my speaking services there.
David, thank you. This has been great. And I love having you here. Thomas and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The cat didn't like it too much, but other than that,
yeah,
we can take care of that. But thank you. It's been incredible.
Okay.